Well, hello everybody. This is Christine coming to you from the Cards by Christine studio here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Today I have a beautiful Christmas card for you that uses the Snow It's Glistening stamp set. This stamp set is a special release for the month of November from Stampin' Up! That you can buy accompanied with the Happiness Surrounds stamp set. And also there's some matching framelits that go with it. Look at all these beautiful framelits. This is my favorite one. It is absolutely gorgeous. It makes a beautiful snowflake. And all of these little guys punch out or will cut out the snowflakes that go to the set. And this one, isn't this awesome? So this is what the card is featuring, is just the stamps from this actually. We're going to pull in the Swirls and Curls embossing folder, a little glimmer paper, and some of the ribbon here. And let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is move all of this stuff out of the way and bring in what we need to make the card. So we're going to be using a color that is called Tranquil Tide, and this is your half a sheet of paper, which is 8.5 by 5.5, and I do have it scored at the halfway point, which is 4 1/4. So because I have it scored, it's going to make it really easy to fold it over evenly. And then what you're going to do is go ahead and burnish the edges. Now, if you don't have your bone folder handy, you can go ahead and use something like the edge of the glue or a scissors. But I have my bone folder right here, and that's what I use when I'm burnishing the edges. Okay, so now that we have that done, that can get set off to the side. We have here 2 pieces of paper that are the same size. This is 4 and at 5 1/4. That's your traditional mat that would go over the top of your quarter sheet of your card. So this is gray granite, and then the other color is Whisper White, and the Whisper White is what goes on the inside. So I'm going to set that off to the side for right now. And the gray granite piece is what we're going to emboss with the Swirls and Curls embossing folder. So I'm going to pull in my big shot here. Okay, sorry if we got a little bit of glare going on here. It's because of the way the lights are. So I'm just going to hold on to them while we go here. So I'm just going to put that in here, and I'll put my platform back. And when I put this in here, I want to make sure that my spine goes in first, and then also to line up my plates good. I've had people actually crack their embossing folders because they can buckle if you don't put the spine in first. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Once you have that, you're just going to pull your embossed piece of paper out from the embossing folder. Then we have some layers here. So we've got this piece of Merry Merlot, and the Merry Merlot is, this piece is for here, and this piece is for here. And then we also have a piece for layering here that goes behind. So for measurements, our piece of Designer Series paper is at 2 inches by 4 inches. We kept that so that maximizes what you get out of your pack of paper. We have another piece of Merry Merlot that is 4 inches by 2 1/4. So this will nestle right in here, and it goes from end to end, and it's going to give you that little bit of margin on the top and the bottom. Okay, so that's those pieces. So we can go ahead and glue those together already. Remember, if your glue doesn't want to come out, just tap it lightly and it'll come out the nozzle. If you would prefer to use your mono-adhesive tape runner, that's quite all right too. All right, so that will get lined up on here just like so. I'm excited because tomorrow I'm leaving to go to Florida. It's Stampin' Up's 30th anniversary convention in the Sunshine State, so I will be getting on an airplane bright and early tomorrow morning. Okay, so we have that. Now what's going to happen is this is going to layer right on the bottom here, and when you, depending on how you cut yours, you might have a little bit of gap there, or you might need to do a little trimming, but we can go ahead and put glue on the back of this so that this can get adhered to our piece of gray granite. And what I'm going to do is line up my edges so that there's no overhang. Okay, perfect. And let me grab a scissors. See if I can find one. Well, I'll have to look for my scissors real quick. You guys are going to laugh at me because I already had my scissors packed away in my suitcase because I am bringing stuff to work on. So what I'm going to do is just trim a little bit of that gray granite off. If you're not as picky as me, you can leave it on, but I tend to see that kind of stuff and I love to take it off of there. So what we've got next then is we can add some of our ruffled ribbon. This is the Tranquil Tide ruffled ribbon. Now on this card, I left a little bit of red showing on there so you could see just a little bit of it. So we're going to pull in our tear and tape, and what I do is put a little bit of it. What I'll do is hold this like this. Now if you don't want as much red showing, like if you'd rather have it look like that, go ahead and cover up your red, but if you want a little bit of the Mary Merlot showing, what you're going to do is hold that, and you're just going to put your tear and tape over the top of that. And the harder you press the tear and tape, the easier it is to get that off of there. So you saw that kind of picked right off. Okay, then I'm going to grab another little piece. I'm going to bring this over. I don't like to put tear and tape or any kind of glue underneath the ribbon in the front. It kind of might look like it sticks or buckles funny. So I try to just tape it on the back. Okay, just like that. And what I'm going to do is hold my end over, put a little tape back there, and pick off the paper part. Now this is ready to go ahead and have glued onto the card base. So I generally just put liquid glue all around the edges and then a little bit through the middle. When you're using liquid glue, it's really easy to kind of get it eyeballed where you want it, and you've got a little bit of wiggle room. And that's exactly what I do, is wiggle it around a little bit so that you can get it exactly where you want it. All right, so we're making a good base for our card here. All right, so I'm going to keep pressing that so that sticks good. So I noticed that when you have a embossed image like this, you really want to make sure that sticks good. Otherwise, it has a tendency to look bubbly. Okay, so we've got that all set. So what we've got here is a piece of Whisper White, and we have a piece of Mary Merlot. The Whisper White is at 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. And we did that because 4 1/4 is basically half of a sheet of paper going the long way, and 2 3/4 you can get 4 of them. So you can get, in essence, 8 pieces like that out of here. So then our piece of Mary Merlot is actually like 3/16 higher. So if it's 4 1/4, I believe it's like 4 3/8 by 2 7/8 or something like that. So if I'm off on that, I'll just post it in the comments what the actual measurement is. But this white piece is definitely 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. So what we're going to do though is we're going to stamp, and this tree is what's going to get stamped first, and that is going to be in our Tranquil Tide. And I'm going to pull in my piercing mat to have as a good base here underneath. Let's move that out of the way. This is the new ink pad, so it's more like a compact case. So you kind of like pop that up, and then it flips back, and then you kind of slide it into place. Okay. Now because this is a bigger stamp, what I will do to ink this up, let's let that focus. Okay, I'm just going to go like this to ink that up. Just did it the opposite. So I put the stamp flat and then put the ink pad over the top of it. Okay, so you can see on here, we've got that maybe about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. And so I'm going to line that up on the bottom. I'm going to center it left to right, maybe like so. Okay, and I'm going to press nice, even, firm pressure on this stamp. Because it's photopolymer, it is going to stick on there. Okay, so if you're not exactly happy with it, you know what? My trick is that there is 2 sides. It's not my trick. I think it's everybody's trick, is that there's 2 sides to every piece of paper. So if you didn't like the way that that's stamped and you want to flip it over, go for it. That is not a problem. Maybe if I stamp it this way, that might help me a little bit. Because I was doing it sideways, it might have gotten crooked on me. So we're going to try it this way instead and see what happens. Look at that snowflake. I was going to say star. That snowflake right in the middle of that tree. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Okay, let's see if that turned out better. Yes, I like that better. So I'm going to get that out of the way. As long as I have my green ink open, I might as well go ahead and stamp my inside. So sorry to go back and forth, but I kind of like to use the ink color that I have open all at the same time, so I'm not constantly opening and shutting my ink pads. So this says, Merry Christmas to you and peace on earth to all the world. So let's go ahead and stamp that right there in the middle. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and shut up that ink, and then we're going to pull in the gray granite. The gray granite, let's see, it's our snowflakes there, and also the tree base. There is a teeny tiny tree base that looks like this, and I'm going to put that on there straight. So we're going to move that and pull in this little tree base, and I'm going to just practice there. Okay, looks good. And what I'm doing is just lining this up so it's in the middle. Okay, that one's done. Then what I'm going to do is pull in the inside here. You can see that there's snowflakes all over. So if you don't like that and it looks messy to you, you don't have to put snowflakes on. That's quite all right. So, and you can do them at first and second strength and just make a blustery, snowflakey, wintry scene. And I'm just doing first and second strength, if you're wondering what I'm doing. So I'm going to stamp and then stamp off right on the paper. And just like that, I'm going to put a couple more over there. So kind of like surrounding the sentiment. All right, so that's it for the stamping. So I'm going to go ahead and shut up. So one of the tricks that I found when closing it is I put my finger on the back end here. Well, there's this little lip here, and I push and pull at the same time. And then once it gets started, then I have more room to grow and get a grasp on this side. You want to make sure it snaps just like that, because that means it's shut. So we've got that done. I'm going to move my piercing mat out of the way. So for the inside, all you have to do is grab your glue and put a little glue on the back side. And don't put it in upside down. That would be called a trick card. If you do that, do not be afraid to give it to somebody who likes a joke or won't mind and will laugh at you, with you, actually. So, yeah, when you put that in there, make sure you got it on the right side. Okay, so our inside's done. Now we have just to glue the back of this piece of paper. And then use your liquid glue again. Put that on top of the Merry Merlot. And line that up as good as you can get it. Now again, because it's the liquid glue, what I like about that is I can eyeball it and still move it around as I go. All right, so what I have is this piece is popped up with dimensionals. And oh my God, oh my goodness. So what you see here is not a lot left, right? But do not fear, because all of this can be used and not thrown away. So what you're going to do is grab your scissors and you're going to snip those and use them. Do not waste this, because this is all good stuff. They're going to work, you're going to watch this, they're going to work just the same as if they were in the right size or shape here of these little hexagons. Look at that, that one's already off. So look, perfect. Do not throw this stuff away. You're going to use that stuff up and be happy that you have that left over yet to use. Okay, so I'm going to center this top to bottom, left to right. Wonderful. Then I have here the Twinkle Builder Punch. This was in the suite called Twinkle Twinkle. There's a star here, and I'm pulling in some gold glimmer paper. And what I'm going to do is just, oh, he landed up on me. Here he is. So that's what you do with your scraps. I will tell you honestly, I save pieces of paper this big when they're gold foil or silver foil or copper foil, or if they're the glimmer, like silver glimmer, copper glimmer, any of that kind of, oh, we don't have copper glimmer, but whatever glimmer and foils, I save them when they're that size because they are perfect for stars. So again, this is the Twinkle Builder Punch, and using some glimmer paper. Now, here's a star that's going to go on the top. So you're like, what am I going to do? You're going to cut a smaller piece here, just what you need for your star. So I'm going to grab a piece about that big, and we're going to make sure he fits on the back. And if he's too big, we're just going to cut it smaller, and that is quite all right. Let's get a small piece here. Let's use that. And I'll line that up on here, like so. cool. All right, we're putting the star on the tree together. Okay, perfect. So what's left? We have these little metallic pearl accents. So that's what this is, and these come in a sheet of gold and a sheet of silver. So silver and gold is what we're using, and here we go. So I have here, this is called the Take Your Pick tool. It's something that Stampin' Up! Just came out with, and it allows you to like pick up a pearl or a diamond or a rhinestone, and it allows you to like place it kind of where you want it to without fret or worry. So you can see that, and then I just put my finger right over the top of it like so. So we're going to put some gold ones on here as well. The gold and the silver really tie in with the gray granite, and then the gold on the top of the tree. So sometimes I don't like to mix silver and gold, but on this card I thought it looked quite all right to mix the silver and gold. Now, if it's on your card and you want to fill in all these, actually, like there's one here and one here and one there, you can go for it. Put more pearls on. That's quite all right. It's your card. You can do with it what you want. So I forgot. I have this thing sitting right here, and you're probably wondering why I had that there. So the one thing I found with your embellishments is I have a tendency, I cut that flap off that has that stick on it, get rid of that, and then I put my stuff right back in here. Sometimes when that curls over, though, it's hard to get it back, but just, we're going to go from that way. And once you get it in there, it's good, but it's getting it in there. That is the trick. Let's see if that, okay. Once that's in there, then you have easy access to just pull these out, whereas when you have that flap, sometimes that flap catches on this and sticks them, and it sticks to it. So do that with some of your embellishments. So, okay, I was telling you about this. I was showing you earlier the snowflake set. These are the trinkets that come with, they don't come with it, but they go along with what's being offered with the stamp sets. And there's also this, what is this? It's fuzzy paper. It's, what is called is white velvet sheets, and you get 2 of them, and they're 12 by 12, and you can't really, if you listen, it's fuzzy, so it's like flocking. That's what it is. So that's part of that snowflake, this whole ensemble of stuff. You can get the framelits, the 2 stamp sets, the velvet paper, and these embellishments. So, all right, I hope you enjoyed making this card with me. I did. I think this is a great Christmas card. It's not too difficult, but it looks really involved. The silver, the gold, the glimmer, they're all really nice accents. Add some texture in here with the embossing folder. You add some designer series paper, and really there's a very minimal amount of work on the Big Shot because there's no die cutting. So that's really awesome. So it makes for a very easy Christmas card. You could make lots of these in no amount of time. So, all right. Well, if you have any questions, you can reach me at Chris M. Bertram at msn.com. My Facebook page is Cards by Christine. You are watching this on YouTube. I also post stuff on Pinterest. I actually publish a newsletter monthly. If you'd like to get a copy of it, shoot me a quick email or find me on Facebook and instant message me or private message me. I'd be happy to send you or add you to my list so that you get that. I do drawings and give away prizes. So I like to make it fun, and I really appreciate you stamping with me, and we look forward to the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.